Professor Salone Network today in December 3rd, 2021 on a Friday. I know say most of people say you don't expect to be at this time of the day, but we get something important, and I got somebody very, very important now with society. We make a decide for come earlier today and do the show. I got somebody where in a person where he always decide for puts people and with them vulnerable forward in life, for make sure say he do what he need for do for provide and help follow his fun for them for provide for them and their family them. Tonight I don't want for take too much time. I will ask Pastor Faith will come in and introduce himself and make we able to talk about waiting the show they're about today. Over to you, man.
Good evening, viewers. Thank you very much for coming onto this platform. My name is Pastor Faith, as I've been introduced, and me are the vision carrier of Melqosh Mission International, a charity where we put together in 2008 April. So this now with 13th year of mission, and we work with war survivors, 5 categories plus their children. We work with war amputees, war wounded, war widows, war sexual abused, and war orphans and their dependents.
Thank you very, very much, Pastor Faith. As we all know, say Salone, where he left plenty scarred behind. They end up forgets the short end of the war. The bad thing that would happen during the war, that's what I mean literally. What I mean by the short end of the war, then they mutilate them. Some of them people are most often they go on with day by day life without even thinking about it when they go through. Waiting at the challenges and where you feel say people where we people will not get no physical disability, they think about their day-to-day lives.
Well, okay. I'm presently in Sierra Leone. Salone. I'm going to talk to you. So, oh God, I always do interviews in English. So now, please, bear with me. As recent as tonight, this evening, I meet with a few of the amputees because today is an international day for persons with disabilities. So I ask the Secretary General or the previous Secretary General of the War Amputees and War Wounded Association, I asked them, say, if anything was done, any improviso, any implementation of benefits for them, anything for signify the day or commemorate the day, as many other countries and normally even abroad in the US, in the UK, in Europe, in different parts of the world, this International Day for People with Disabilities is actually a day that is widely commemorated. And so he had to make a call to the leaders there of the organization, and they literally say no, they had no invitation, nothing. And on this day, they feel very, very raw because other people with disabilities groups, they have international funding that comes through for them, international support. Sometimes they even get, help from government subsidies the way they come. I will go into that and I will give an example in the Ebola, but during the Corona crisis, and at the lockdown from last year. But unfortunately, the amputees, I don't know if not institutionalized discrimination, that is not really a direct discrimination, but we find out, say, the war amputees specifically, because I'm speaking about today, and they are the severely disabled, people with severe disability. They always feel very marginalized, neglected, rejected, abandoned, forgotten. And I have been working with them for 13 years. I've advocated every time I come to Sierra Leone. I'm on different media houses, advocating that help will come from the different ministries. The war amputees, as I speak, even tonight, one of them, where we've been supposed to come on the program, she was so feeling so upset that she declined, or she was just like too emotional. And one of we, Melqosh, actually say, waiting for her mental well-being, because she said, I wouldn't be able to even sleep tonight if I'm interviewed, because we've gone through too much. And she gave an incident. He said, even when they go to shop for go buy, it's as soon as they see them. And this is the girl who has just completed her higher teaching certificate at Freetown Teachers College. So just because she has a disability, it's when they can go in a shop, as soon as they can go, oh, no, it's okay, we're not getting anything for now, and she goes there to buy, just for go buy something. But the discrimination, the stigmatization that is within them, and the other gentleman also, who we have a video of, who I ended up having to do his video. He couldn't stay because he's going through a lot of ill health situations right now. He was literally just buttressing what, oh, sorry, I don't go into English. Sorry. It actually just on a buttress waiting the Pekin, the young lady they talk about. So, I'm here yesterday. I went to Kisii, and I met a double amputee begging on the street, car by car. My heart just sank. And I was like, we have a TLC recommendation that had been done, way back as late 18 years ago. We've had this January will be the 20th anniversary of when the war officially the end. January 18, 2002 was when they declared peace over Sierra Leone. So in the next 1 month, we will be commemorating the 20th anniversary. To you and I, maybe the war has ended, but to the war amputees, the war wounded, their families, the war widows, the war orphans, the war has not ended. And so this is why I'm here tonight, to make we talk and come and talk to we people, then may we arise and help people, then they need we.
I mean, it's good for we get somebody where it will come for advocate on their behalf, because as we all know, the misinformation out there, it's everywhere, and it's too much, and it's even uncontrollable. In most cases, they even talk, say, governments that already put funding for amputees them and war victims them where they get support from the previous government to this government. You as an advocate and somebody where they are around them people are, what are you able to tell the general public for know about them funding their way government said and then get in place to help them people are?
There's absolutely no funding. Maybe they have it on paper, but they have not implemented. Okay, so I'm going to give you an expose onto something that I said I was going to speak about, but when I will take it to the international quarters. It's just that because of COVID right now, everyone is dealing with their own back garden. But then last year, funding came from World Bank for people with disabilities. So I don't know if I remember during the COVID, government make a huge announcement saying they provide 250,000 Leone'S, then provide a bag of rice, and provide Veronica water and antibacterial soaps. Yes, that was given. But when they go for do the verification to the war amputees, because the Norwegian Friends of Sierra Leone built about 1,000 homes, just a fraction of the amputees then, because we had over 27,000 people with that were amputated and displaced, and they're all different on all the 5 categories. Unfortunately, now only 1,000 of them get houses with them built all over the country. So when they go do their verification, they say because they're clothes, they're not wearing chair clothes, they're not look dirty, then meet them at their house, or then they're not falling at the category for get help. I worked in local government in England. I worked for 13 local government councils, and we means test people. That is not how you means test people, just by seeing them because they're not dirty. So you're saying past people and really get to that low place before you actually help them. And the amputees, to be honest, they're just like you and I. Most of them were independent, they may get job them, they take care of themselves. Now because brother and sister then go cut their hand, that's the only thing we're different from them. They still respect themselves, then still want to make we respect them, So the unfortunate thing, I contact NACSA. And then I talked to the director Regina Safa, and I explain the plight of the war amputees, and I tell them, say, the TRC report, everything where they write, everything where government we don't say then they do for the amputees, they not do it. At one time, the NACSA, and when at the National Action for Social Change, them promise the amputees and say then they give them a reparation form, but now one off they go give them. So the amputees thought that they will come and give them a big lump sum for me, then go take care of themselves. So they agreed ignorantly. And then when they go give them now, then give them something which was equivalent to 6 million, where at the time was about $900. Can somebody live on $900 for the rest of their life? Even the debts the way they don't get, because they not get work. We not get nothing for them. And the truth of the matter, even through the TRC, it also writes, say, Salone forget a war trust fund where any diamond where them fair na the country, a percentage for go, take care of that fund day. So amputees then go to get like, monthly pension or help, allowance. America, England, we get disability allowance. We get people, and because person get disability, not means they for leave or big in a street. The government, they take care of them. And Sierra Leone has a duty of care with another uphold. President Tijan Kabano do the assignment, do in work well, and President Anesco Mano do, and of course President Julius Madabio also don't feel woefully to the amputees, especially him because he and his wife were patrons of Melqosh Mission, Me Charity in England, in where we host events October 2013. We have the receipt and script, and I remember her telling me, if I ever become a first lady, I will take this project as my pet charity. Of course, we don't want her to take the Melqosh as a pet charity, but we just want to make them do the right thing. If them predecessors them or the one they've been their head of they not do, then don't become aware of waiting there the presidents they not do. They don't attend with fundraising where we don't the advocates don't they talk. So they are in a better place for make the people don't come and do the right thing. We even want to try for get in touch with even David Senge, where we go MIT, go study about war amputation for do prosthetic limbs. We try for reach and several times, even now we don't become a minister of education, to have conversation with him to see how we could, because I have a letter where we go read in the next soon, we actually get all the different relevant ministries involved for make the able for provide the right reparation for the war amputees. Unfortunately, nothing happened. So returning back to NACSA, so Regina Safa, I explain everything within not on the government, it is Salone, how they don't feel the war amputees, and I tell and say we're aware. I say, Una don't go all over the world, don't go tell people and say, Una don't make provision for the war amputees, all people disabilities, but that is not the case. So just a few days towards lockdown, when I see they not do anything, I gather a group of female Melqoshians with America, England, Canada, we raise funds together and we make provision, a bag of rice, Veronica water, and Veronica bucket, water, antibacterial. So we distribute them in Freetown. So of course they go down see what we don't do. Then just go give 250,000 and say the rice done. But when the amputees then go to NACSA office, bags of rice that could have taken care of not only Freetown, the Western area districts, and all other districts were in there, and they said they don't have enough rice. Tell me if that's not a wickedness in the highest degree. Rice was there during Corona for them. They don't make provision. Then just go give them 250,000.
But beyond question is though, Pastor Faith, I think sometimes when we leave the legal side of stuff, this routine happen because we try to live on faith. So we lead them go do the right thing. When we talk about the US and the UK, we're going to do the right now because of the law. Make sure they can get an advocacy, not just an ordinary people's advocate, but lawyers the way they know so they can go to sue the state because law will be real. What happened to the people here? What they call them repatriation because of waiting because they know that they wrong the people there. Now the states destroy the people their life. Where what happened to a country, a war victim, whatever happened to the war victim, the liability falls on the states. So now, now, what's in the legal side of the organizations, them, I mean, lawyers, them, or when I get lawyers, them, or when they think about them, or not get them aids, what's in when they think about, because what you only say is so. As a politicians, the only time they will come on at your head. Now, we don't want that vote. We don't get the vote, they go to power, they don't care about all the two they say again anymore. They know they're young and they know all, and they know the problem. But the only time they go able listen when there is a legal issue against them. So I'd ask again, is that the organization get lawyers them, and also the parliament supposed for make some event here to law for able all the country at ransom for make sure say that people here get what they need for forget. What thing that you want to take, or I would take people sensitize me about in terms of the actions then, because I think that after this point, I think the organization need for begin look at way for begin sue the government, either nationally or internationally, for make sure say they will take care of their well-being. What thing that you want to take on that, man?
Thank you. Another thing, we will put a picture of the TRC book where we send over. There's a TRC recommendation under the human rights law. Sierra Leone is in breach of the human rights laws for people with disabilities. Sierra Leone has a duty of care to uphold, specifically for war victims, just like how you rightly say. Every country where a war happened, a civil war, the casualties of the war are meant to be taken care of and provided a life of dignity. It's in the TRC. The TRC volume 2 also have that. And it talk about, say, you know, it should be, they should be provided for, they should be protected for, and not just them, but their children, also their biological children. So, to be honest, as early as 2019, we don't begin for get in touch with human rights advocates, activists. We for put we through to the right channels, because then we get forget the United Nations involved. We not them be involved during the war and even the putting together of the TRC. We were at the verge of planning to work on that, and then COVID happened. We have built, we have our evidence, we have letters, we have the TRC book itself, we have all the things that Sierra Leone has not done. So we have done our homework, but unfortunately, COVID manifested early 2020, and we find prudent say let's hold off first, because no one will give us urgence when the world day in a pandemic where every country they try for fit for their own, they're not going to go fit for people the way they're not sabi right now. So we deem prudent say may we wait until you know, things normalize, and then we could take it. I mean, next year is going to be the 20th anniversary since the war done. So let's see what 2022 is going to bring. Keep watching. That's all I'm saying. Keep watching on that end.
We just don't put the website and also the link if you want for help for donates. Because the way they say, and like with Pastor Faith just to say, the people are not get no funding at all. Most of the people may live their normal life, just like me and you too. They grab no money and go find their own living account. They don't destroy them, cut their hand, them, cut them foot, deem them disabled for the rest of their lives. So if it can up on, we all get 200 and 250 grab every morning. Just imagine somebody where they don't take a limb away. And at the same time, just like what you say, then if you say everybody where it is able for the bigger not eat, most people then get that dignity and respect for so much so that they're not even for big. Most of them people are not want nothing from me, then just want for let you go to give them that assistance, make them go to start life. So we ask people do ya, if you know say you get small little nothing at the side where you want for help, we get the website up. You can reach out to Pastor Faith. We are doing this show. If we're allowing a call, we will get in contact and see how you were able adopt somebody where you will help them, then get speaking them, then get their wives them, then get their own life for like able to make a difference in their life. As we say this, even though we all the time ask a question about the legal side of it, the reality is that that's how long we talk about. It's still not easy for letting people get the rights what they deserve. The law not even fall on their side as it's supposed to. So now let me talk about your personal story with the people here. because I know say most of what they watch the show, the most I would able to connect now to the emotional side of it. And you don't need another share so many times. What's not one of the story I will tell you the most touching story about person where you don't meet, where you will share with we that will connect to the human side of it.
Okay. So I started to do this mission 13 years ago, and we get the educational part of the mission, we get the medical part of the mission, we get the food aid part of the mission, we get the university scholarship part of the mission. Before I digress, so in 2016, I meet a lady called Mary Mamusu Koma with a McKinney. She's an amputee. And under the age, she was between 5 and 7 when the war rebellion captured her, and more than 10 men they rape her. I don't know if I go don't see that video. They don't share on Facebook. Over 2,000 people that don't watch that video day in 2016. And I met her, and at the time, 2017, and the following year, I go McKinney because we do before Madabio come up with in free education. We don't pay school fee for many years, and so we actually pay school fee for over 332. It was actually 332 picking them at Salone all over in the north, the east, north, south, and west of Sierra Leone. I think it must have been like 8 cities that we do in 2017. So I get opportunity for meet with a girl, and he actually tell me, say, you don't apply for go university, for go do a teaching degree, for get a higher education, but you don't get money for do the course. He say don't in what would they call GCE at the time, thinking I was something in our sked and they call them. Say don't do about 3-4 years now, just to ask God who can help him. So she was the last beneficiary of remission. In fact, I've done the assignment just before he contact me, but then I was meant I could only return back to London, and my grandma passed away, so I ended up staying, and that worked to her advantage because by the time the 2 weeks that I elongated me time, acceptance now he received acceptance at Putzlocker's Teachers College, and so we pay for in university for the full year and gave her bursary and helped her. And then I remember in the interview that I do with him, he explained in story of what happened after they raped her, more than 10 men, 9 then cutting Anna. So then they left her, say make it go. So she was bleeding from her genitals and bleeding from the amputation. But you don't go believe, say this girl she was telling me, I want to become a pastor, I want to help lives, I want to save lives. I literally was gobsmacked. I could not believe. Anyway, fast forward this year, she became the first amputee to become a graduate teacher. To God be the glory. He graduates this year. So I've shared from where she started off to how we met her and her now. And now we actually want for even further in education. There are others like her. Not a normal for make we just can't give. When Melqosh we come on board, not for just can't give one cup rest. That's not the kind of charity work we do. We do sustainable projects to bring a lifetime change, to change their stories, not to make we just can't give them. Like this year, last year during the COVID, when we started in Freetown, I remember I talked to my team, I said, rice and water. I'm a pastor, so in the book of Matthew 25, the Lord Jesus Christ he said, I was hungry and you did not feed me. I was thirsty, you did not give me water to drink. I was naked and you did not clothe me. I was a stranger, you did not put a roof over my head. I was in prison and you did not visit me. The disciple then say, who said we see you, Lord? Now I say, for as much you do, you not do for them, least of them people here. And you treat them bad, and so you treat me. So we always don't go by that precept, that teaching. They say, may we help people. Not to pass we get for say we fumble to people that are not get no relative of an amputee. When an amputee, my dad was a victim of the war. He died a few years 2 years after the war. They had beaten him, they had poured kerosene, the war rebelled them, then beat him to unconsciousness. So I know firsthand what it means to lose a family as a result of waiting he go through, the atrocities where he go through during the war, and he never recovered. So so this girl, she's done well for herself. We get amputees them, we really they push, and we they pay university students for the university scholarship, we they provide them not only for them picking them, but for the young amputees. And we get one amputee we turned 26 actually today, and he became the first graduate social worker. He also graduated in April this year from University of Sierra Leone, FBC. But we get the one that we're less fortunate, where they get to go big before they eat. Like I explained why I miss that Kisi, you go upline, things are 10 times worse. When after we do that mission, we're in Matthew 25, after we don't do Freetown, I just felt Freetown was just not enough, because mostly we mission, we don't go different places. And I like, Mama, you're not going to take care of one picking, you left the other. So I go back to the team, we say, okay, we need for raise funds. And I tell God, I say, Papa God, if you not take care of them people, well, just take me life, because I am frustrated with the fact that the government, they do for them people there. So, and I remember the Lord said to me, give them rice and water. I go back to the team. Believe you me, if you go on Facebook, I don't know if we're friends on Facebook, you will see how we went around nationwide, every city, apart from Falaba, 21 of the 22 cities. We not go Falaba because there are no war amputees, no war survivors there. They're not billed for them. But all from Kailahun to Kenema to Bont to Moyamba to even Bont, where they across the waters, to the Cambia in the north, to Kabbalah in the south, to Fadu in the north, to Fadugo, to Pujeon, to Bo, Milesheka, to Kono. We went everywhere and we made provision, a bag of rice. Not a 2-3 cup wrestler where you can see some charities they can give, then go put picture. No, a bag of rice per family. A bag of rice, a Veronica bucket, antibacterial soap, face mask, and 2 bundles of water. And we went around and we documented it, and it's on social media. Not to boast or whatever, but to make we show people that outside the money they go, because at the Sierra Leone community and friends of Melqosh that then come on board. In the time of crisis was when we saw the most humanitarian gesture last year. And we came together, we raised funds, and town by town, city by city, we made provision. Yes, it's short term, but at least we lockdown come. Not all COVID they be afraid for that, not the starvation. Because when they lock out and they go big, outside and go full. Like now, Tintranga can Salone half a bag of onions, now $10 for half a bag of onions. Outside people in the pool money for buying half a bag of onions, 120,000, more than $10, about $11. I don't know how people survive, let alone war victims. My heart is so full. I don't want to say I'm despondent, because my name is Faith and I have to look at the brighter side, but now only God gave a change within the Ghana Sierra Leone right now. It's like we have taken, I'm not coming from a political stance, I'm coming from a humanitarian stance, but over the last 3 years, even last year, the bags of rice, the money where we spend for buy bags of rice. So if we want to do that mission, then we get for now get a budget ×2 of what we spent last year, because of the gross inflation of food prices, food cost. So there's a lot of things. The amputees, they feel neglected, disillusioned with society, feel that our fellow Sierra Leoneans, we don't desensitized. I don't know if not the war or all that dog eats dog mentality. But when we begin Camp Salone, I made a pledge. I don't come can do false life and be AJC. I did come and be my brother's keeper. Also, I get for total load for that. So, also, I get for peel onions when we cook for that. I go do. There are times I can walk until I almost faint, but I look and say, if I not do I don't know any other organization at this world, the entire world, we go do it till we do. And that's why we come year after year, several times a year. We're doing our missions. We're raising funds non-stop, trying to see. Right now, it's very challenging. You know, we get a Giving Tuesday where we do this week. We had very few engagements compared to last year and even the previous year. We know it's in Tranga for people there. But maybe we come, sometimes, and they're not just money. Maybe you might have contacts. We go, you get maybe guest house, you go get rice for we donate the rice. You don't get for give me physical cash. You get bundled sometime way water factory. You get contact. Pay the money. We know they just ask and say can't give you money no more. Buy things them. We will go pick them up for the war survivors. At this present moment, I'm so concerned about how they're going to survive. Okay.
I want to take family and say the phone lines are open now, and we were supposed to get some of the amputees on the show, but because of some of the difficulties that way Pastor Faith talk about, that make we not even get them on the show because we really want to get them here, make them tell one of the young story and what's going to go through. But because they're not able to come in this IC where able to come and advocate for them. I understand so I get one caller, so I bring this caller in, and family can call because if you're in a different country, you want to know for donate and would have for contacts, please call so that we get the right information from Pastor Faith. Now we get this first caller in. Good evening, caller. What's the name? We'll say the call from, please.
Good evening, everyone at US, and good evening to all of the viewers. My name is Matilda Jacob. I recall, just for put me voice and appeal to everyone watching, everyone, all who that we go watch this show after, all who that way they watch this show now, all the people that way they follow me on my different platforms, then all the people that way they friend me on my different platforms, then listen, one I'll bangle not the shape. One hand bangle not the shape. I am part of this work. I am part of this mission. If you appreciate what Matilda does on VOS, please transfer that appreciation in kind. And in this time, in kind, we say at the Askuna. At the Askuna, if not $2, if not $5, if not $10, if not you McDonald's, if not you Starbucks, please, I am begging you, people. Just pay a change for your brother and sister. They are they are in dire needs. If me and you were to run and to food, we they find them difficult, we they find them hard, we they stay teen tranga, we they stay teen mona. Now just imagine that one we not get and we get. We now with to hand and with to foot. How then they feel? How then they manage? How then they survive? Few times this year we've had to come to the rescue for send some of these people to hospitals because, then get sick. And who that they take care of them? It's not the government. It is you and I. The little that we give, you and I, that would go to help them. We don't lost a lot of amputees them to different sickness them, to different infections them. So I they beg you, like where una can send the donation or campaign things then to me, and sometimes I oblige. Listen, the phone line doesn't go one way, it goes both ways. You cannot expect Matilda to be donating to your charity, and when the time comes when she asks you turn the other eye because they get them. No, I not get them. We not get them. But there is something called empathy. There is something called humanity. So I am pleading to your sense of empathy. I am pleading to your sense of humanity. I would have been there present tonight to make this appeal in person, but things beyond my control have limited me to do so. This is our country. We cannot talk for one and not talk for the other. We cannot focus on the politics and everything that goes on, but yet we cannot care for our brothers and sisters that have fallen behind. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. So please, I'm begging you on this International Day of Disabilities, let us rise to the challenge. Let us rise to the challenge. Let us rise to the challenge. Our brothers and sisters are suffering back home. The challenges are humongous. But together, we can walk the journey with them, not leaving them behind. Ona, thank you.
Thank you very much, Matilda. We appreciate it. Dr. Fitleka, Pastor Fitleka, Matilda just said, in case somebody wants to donate in Sierra Leone, or somebody in the US you want to donate, somebody in Asia you want to donate, how do you able to make the donations then? You able to work with some of the things in there, man?
Okay, we get a GT Bank account, a GT Bank account. So if anybody wants to make a donation, make them send me a message on Melqosh Mission, spelled MELQOSH Mission on Facebook. But perchance you're not there on Facebook, you can just send me an email at Melqosh. melqoshinternational@gmail.com. Melqosh spelled MELQOSH. International, all spelled in one long word, at gmail.com. We get PayPal for universal donations or transactions. So if you're there anywhere, I mean, even people in Africa, even in Nigeria, they use PayPal there. I don't know if they use them in a Salone, but I know PayPal is universal. We get a Facebook fundraiser. People that way they join, we they're on Facebook. Just go on Melqosh Mission. I don't know if we're able to put a scroll on Facebook page, Melqosh Mission. You go see all the different ways where you can donate. If you're in America, you can just donate on Zelle. Email address melqoshinternational@gmail.com. Very, very simple. Or you're in America, you want to donate on Cash App, which is just at 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, you don't donate. It's the $ and spelled and MELQOS, Melqosh once again. Very simple. Or you then at the UK, you want to donate, we get a NatWest UK account. So we don't provide Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, UK account, and what else? Sierra Leone bank account. So I think, and we get a Facebook, so we get 6 different platforms if people want to donate anywhere in the world.
So my other question is, does this organization open to anybody because I know some people don't get the physical money, but then they want to come join an organization for that and help people around the country. It open to anybody, and if they want to join, if you open to anybody, then how then will contact you and how then will be part of this organization and mission?
Okay, so presently I'm in Sierra Leone right now, and yes, the answer is yes. People that we want to join with and can definitely come on board and volunteer. We welcome all forms of volunteering, be it and specifically the medical from the medical professionals. They do an annual medical mission. January 6th every year. We normally did one for for a whole week, but now it will be extended right up to the 23rd of January. So if anybody didn't at home between January 6th and the 23rd, and you're a nurse or you're a health practitioner, you're a doctor, whatever capacity, nursing, even if you're a CNSF, or is it LP, something to like LPN? Sorry?
Yeah. LPN.
Yeah. LPN, nurse, you can come and still volunteer, every hands on deck. We get the Sierra Leone organization, the Organization of Sierra Leone Health Practitioners UK, they're called TOSHPA, every year, except last year when the COVID happened. For the last 3 years, they have volunteered their medics from different plethora of specialty, and then they work with. We don't get doctors that we don't come volunteer. Even non-Sierra Leoneans, a chiropractor and an RN don't come from Miami. Don't join. We last year we get dental health international and come partner with we this January, where we for the first time in the history of Sierra Leone, the amputees then get free dental since the war end. This is not the first year we then get free dental care. So what we're saying, you're in the event planning, we get a par excellence awards where we do for mark the 20th anniversary of peace in Sierra Leone, January 18th. You could come on board. Logistics, you can come on board. Even if you want to come and usher, the little thing, if you want to come and help, or if you're in the hospitality department, join us. Every hand on deck. Not say, say you don't have a use. Even if you don't have money, but you want to come on and volunteer, join us. Contact we. We're in Sierra Leone right now, putting all the prep work for make we will do an incomparable mission for the war survivors to mark the 20th year, the landmark year. That's why normally I can come January, first week. This year I can Salone January on New Year's Day. This year I've come like something, this time I've come for 2022. I don't come 6 weeks before I can normally cancel. All for make we able, and more than anything, not even for that landmark day, the amputees need us now. I don't know if you know the angry belly and the cries of the Sierra Leoneans all over Sierra Leone, and they cry how things ranga. It's about 2 foot post, What about the one day when they get to go? If the one day we get to 1 to 14 ranga, what about the one day when that they get to go stretch their hand for making them go big? Can you imagine? I cringe for make I think say Salone don't get to this stage here. So, and we are to race against time, because over 80% of the war amputees that don't die since the war done. So we only get a remnant. But if by the time Salone man they ready or come to the senses, say we get to take care of people there. Now extinct they don't be if we not take care of them. That is why this call to action is a let's arise. Let us wake up from the slumber and make we grab and help with people there. Nobody not get to do this for we. You see how the world on so now. America they take care of them, England they take all them Boko grants them and funding, and thank God we not in their own grants and funding. Everything we don't do na the community, we set don't pull we on and put towards the project. So nothing has changed for nothing don't change for we. And the church them, few Salone church them, we don't come on board and help we. Nothing not really change. Say, oh, no grants, no they come or international. We never receive that to do our mission. But God always makes sure, say, every year it make enough money. Even when they think, say, I'll go do one. Sometimes they don't kind of Salone not get the money for do the mission ultimate. By the time they go, as they put 1 foot, God just say, give we a landing for make we able for do what we need for do. But not to stranger thing for do them for we. Now we set that when a Salone people there. Then we take care of we. Now we also photo where we get for scrub and clean. Nobody not get for can clean. They who band-aid up. People can say, okay, I hear people that they talk now. Say, but the water done, I'm not going to tell with this war talk here. The one not ever done until we arise and do this here. It's always going to be the big elephant in the room until we become like Rwanda. Well, I don't want to compare Rwanda and Sierra Leone, but another country go through and then take care of their war survivors. Waiting we not able to take care of we own. Until we're able with the talk, change the narrative. The narrative can never change until we do the right thing. Sierra Leone has failed the war survivors. The people of Sierra Leone has failed the war survivors, except for few people that when they come, when I say few, compared to the 7 million Sierra Leoneans, the way we get 7 or 8 million Sierra Leoneans, where we get, we not get to reach 200 people them we go even say then they stand with where they do a campaign. Even right now on Facebook, we don't even get 30 people that we stand with we, and some of the people that we not to even Sierra Leoneans, and some of them, majority of them are from we group. We watch, we see, but where we can put pictures on Facebook, can't see the 100 likes, 200 likes, sharing. We don't want sharing anymore. Not so cheerleaders where they look for. Where they look for participants there. We go bring a sustainable change. Make we say one day where we go, whatever we go say, I did something good in my lifetime. That's what we're asking. Let's rise. The change is in us. The change we seek. Not to Mother Bioge for doing for we, not to Fatima Bioge for doing for we, not to even the Minister of Education. 2018, when the is it Usman Bundu or waiting the minister we been there again at that time we didn't get for with Sakam 2018 we then talk about the free and quality education. Then go lie government go lie say they make provision, but they're not. Sorry.
Alpha Timbo.
You know, when I go come, I can fly come Salone. So when I don't go put propaganda, so when I don't provide free education, but I'm not doing for the war amputees and picking there. It points to one of them, they talk, say, hey, una, not to free to na common, all our plan na common, the trap of make una go back. Is that how you speak to your comp in Salone, man? You know, so many things Sierra Leone has done. We keep on raping these people time and time again. And then when they talk about this word under, may we both change the story. How can we change the story when it is glaringly there? You go Kisiro, tell me, say you don't go see amputee they beg day. Go different parts of the country. Go Kono, may you see amputee and they beg day. Go Makeni, may you see where people and they suffer day. Go Pujeon, one of the worst places to even live, even as an able-bodied person. I went there this year, I was like, my God, how do people access to service? The amputees there are one of the most impoverished. Cross go bombs, may you see how people and they suffer. Go Kaila Hoon, may you see how people and they suffer. I cannot, and I traveled all over to these places to go and see for myself. Go Kabbalah, may you see how amputees and they suffer in Kabbalah. Go Cambia. Then they're all over, not to one place no more, they're all over the country.
I think we get a video from one of the when I see one of the pastor them where they send make we can we ask the technical team for play this video, allow we listen to a message where it's sent away. They will come back and then we will take on from there. And again, if you want call, please after the video, please you can call them, give your take. And if you get questions for ask directly, we all now Pastor Ferdinand for answer the questions that you can call directly and ask a question. So I will ask the technical team for go ahead and show the video. We listen to what the pastor say and we'll come back after that.
Good evening, everybody. I am Pastor Tambafino, amputee. I got my amputation during the 11-year civil war that took place in Sierra Leone. I now live in one of the amputee settlements in Hastings. Today being the 3rd of December, a day observed as a day of disability for persons with disability. I was expecting our government to recognize this particular day, you know, and we were expecting words of consolation and recognition from our government, but surprisingly that did not happen. We are going through a lot after the amputation. The amputation itself is an impediment to many of us, but what we are going through now is heart-rending because we are not receiving any help from our government. And the help we are getting right now is just coming from individuals and benefactors. Organizations like Melqosh Mission International. In fact, for now, that is the only singular organization that is helping the amputees and the war wounded in terms of medication, in terms of helping our children with school materials, and in terms of also assisting some of the amputees financially, with medication, because the medicines that are provided by Melqosh are mostly painkillers, but some of the medical conditions we have requires operations. So, to my knowledge, Melqosh has facilitated that for some victims who have been operated in hospitals, footing the bees and all the rest of it. Even me, this year particularly, was a rough year for me, because as age is also telling on me, everything I went through during the war is now reflecting on my health. And before I was amputated, I was given a severe beating, but because it happened at a time when I was young, I never felt it so much. But now that age is telling me, these pains are reflecting on me. This year, I had a very sharp pain at my lower back. And when I went for X-ray, the result shows that one of the backbone has been shifted. And according to the doctor, there's nowhere they can undertake that kind of operation except in India. In fact, there's in the whole world, there's only one doctor that do the operation, and he lives in India. That costs a lot of money. I don't have that kind of money to go for treatment. So the doctor recommended that I buy or purchase the lumbar belt that I'll be using. I want to show this for you to see. This is what is helping me now. According to him, with time, if I use it properly, according to his advice, it will help to put the bones together. So that's why I'm using. I can't even venture to move without using it. Along that, I'm taking some medications, but also those medicines are very, very expensive medications. The first one I purchased has got finished. That was what I was discussing with Pastor Philip this evening. I am trusting God to get assistance to get another medication, because actually when I'm using this lumbar belt and taking the medications along, it eases the pain. So I will appreciate it if anybody will come to my help to give me assistance with the medication bill. But I also want the world to know that government seems to give no attention to the war victims. We are going through a lot. We have medical problems. Some of us who even have the requisite requirement for job, they don't employ us. And our children, most of them are not fortunate to attend a public school, and this free education is only available in the public schools. But the public schools are so few that they cannot accommodate all the children. So most of our children are in private schools, and that requires payment for them. These are some of the constraints we are facing. So let the world know that we are going through, heart-rending experiences. And if there's any way they can impact the government, let them do. We appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for listening to me. God bless you.
All right, family. I not say we all, because when I watch Pastor Tabafino at the tear up, because not just for Pastor Fino, but Pastor Fino is a very educated person. You see the kind of struggle he say they go through. I just try for empathize with the one them now will not even go school and express themselves. What they go through. But it says something I want to follow up with Pastor Faith. It say then get public medical condition, then they can't even go to a public school, then get problem for access job. So now, didn't the government already come to these people in a Salone say the amputees and beginning go for go school for free when a government school and a government they provide everything for them? Don't not tell you say but amputees for get free access to transportation, which means if you're an amputee, government was for take you upside all over the country for free. Do you help you out? What happen is it, then they get them thing and they not true Pastor Fino they say, oh, the government they provide them. Do you help family? They make them understand small thing they go on.
So this is what I went through where as a canton in 2018 after the propaganda of the free and quality education.
Mm-hmm.
So the amputees that because of who's hide them, we settle them. Government schools and all really then are the amputee camp then they, to be honest, are mostly private schools then. Some of the private schools became assisted by the government, receive assistance. I don't forget the name, which they call assistance funded or subsidized schools. So many of them, to be honest, get help from the government, but not all private schools get help from the government. So if you happen for like Pastor Fino in Sunday in one school, where it's still a pay school fee for that Pekin day. The other Pekin day, you get 4 school-going children. The 3, they get free education. The 2, the 1, they in a private school. And because of the age where it is and how far it don't go, or begin for change and he say because a boy picking as well, you know, he says some of the schools them, even the public schools them, it's just a public school, but there's so much things the way they go on behind the scenes. For example, even though it's free quality, but because even the teachers are not they get enough money, that they enforce certain things in other schools them now, where the parents are not get no choice but still for pay. Like all their lesson the way then they say you get for pay for all their little things because the teachers that they say they not they pay them. So they get for put all them in there so in place. So some amputees still they pay school fee for them picking them. It's a fact. I don't know if we will get time right now. Can we use this opportunity for make her go through these documents where I get from the amputees 2005, where the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Attorney General's Chambers, Ministry of Justice, Goma Valley, Lamina Sanko Street, Freetown, and was dated the 7th of October, 2005, to Alpha Lamin Jusu Jaka, National Chairman, Amputee and War Wounded Association, Sierra Leone, Freetown. So I read, dear sir, our reparation and special fund for war victims. I would like to refer to the invitation to your National Consultative Conference on Reparation and Special Fund for War Victims held at the National Stadium Hostel. I don't know if it's possible for me to also put them in the screen so people can give away that. If it's possible, yes, please. If we can have it on the screen so people could see what I'm reading. At the National Stadium on Wednesday, 14th September 2005. And your letter following the consultative conference dated 16th September 2005 on the above subject matter. You will recall that during my address to the consultative conference, I informed your organization that prior to the receipt of your invitation, government was already considering a package of benefits to be provided by government for all refugees and war wounded victims. You also recall that quite recently, at the invitation of His Excellency the President, this issue was discussed, at which meeting His Excellency also informed you on behalf of your organization the package the government was preparing for members of the above organization. This was indeed in addition to what His Excellency the President was personally doing to get the assistance of the international communication to chip in towards the welfare of members of your organization and their families. I am pleased to now inform you that Cabinet at its meeting held on Wednesday, the 21st of September 2005, has approved the following package: free transport for amputees on government vehicles and buses, free education for amputees and their biological children, free medical facilities. Agreed that the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Food Security should endeavor to provide seed rice and other agricultural input for the Amputees Association so that they could improve their socio-economical lives. Agreed that the Minister of Trade and Industry should assist the amputees with the formation of cooperatives at different levels so that effective utilization of distributed tractors will be assured. Approve the setting up of a cabinet subcommittee comprising of the Vice President as chairman, the Chairman, the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry, Food Security, the Minister of Health and Sanitization, the Minister of Transport and Communication, the Minister of Labor, Industrial Relation and Social Security, the Minister of Trade and Industry, the Minister for Presidential Affairs, and the Commissioner NACSA, with the mandate to clarify such ambiguous terms as amputee, war-wounded victims, and their biological children by putting them in the correct context, with a view to making a clear definition of who should benefit from the assistance from among the growing number of people in such condition, and also to implement the benefits approved by Cabinet for the war amputees. Agreed that the beneficiary should be issued with ID card detailing all their entitlements as agreed upon by government, that the Cabinet subcommittee should make a public statement on the assistance package directed to the amputees. I will therefore request your organization to contact each ministry in charge of the facility provided in the package to make agreements as the modalities required to implement government's decision. By copy of this letter, each ministry department is requested to kindly take necessary action as per Cabinet conclusions mentioned above, signed F, or is it E? F or E, I think FM Keru, Attorney General, and Minister of Justice. Copy, Honorable Vice President, Secretary to the President, the Minister of Education, Science and Technology, the Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Food Security, the Minister of Health and Sanitization, the Minister of Transport and Communication, the Minister of Labor, Industrial Relation and Social Security, the Minister of Trade and Industry, the Minister for Presidential Affairs, and the Commissioner NACSA. We have all documents here. All the documents here, 4 pages. Written 2005, we're now in 2021. 16 years ago, nothing has been done. Let me go line by line. Free transportation for amputees on government vehicles. 2016, I came to Sierra Leone and I came with about £3,700 worth of medicines, which is about $5,000 to $6,000 equivalent of medicines that I cargoed to Sierra Leone to come and do a free medical treatment. And there was an organization coming from America to come and do free health, and then we would provide the medicines, but they were stationed at home. So we went to the road transport in Sierra Leone and we said, we're here, we want to take amputees from Freetown, from Grafton, Dewey, Hastings, Rockell, Waterloo 55, Newton, and Maisheka amputee camps to go to Bo. Can you provide free transport for them? They said no. So we ended up paying for the whole day, transporting the amputees to Bo, and the vehicle waited, the road transport vehicle bus waited, and then we came back. So no free transport. The amputees, it don't better now. Sorry, I don't know when I even switched to English. Sorry.
Oh no, we're okay. I mean, it's an international audience. That's fine.
Okay, the amputees, back in the time, some years back, the bus drivers they don't want to take amputees. They say because when they sit down near the people and they feel disgusted. Sorry, I get to use that word, but it was like that. So they don't want to sit down near amputees them. So the amputees then we get for the waka because taxi no one take them. Can you imagine? So there's definitely no free transport.
But that almost drives me to the next question I want to ask. Because that's what I want to ask about. We at the beginning of the show, you talk say government don't want to help the people because they talk say they don't look dirty, they look clean. Is it the mindset of Sierra Leoneans that we feel say when you become an amputee, you're supposed to look dirty in the streets, or that we don't even notice that we're supposed to take them from that area they for camp or make them get dignity and respect instead of sending them back to South they lost their dignity. Waiting now the side where you feel say we lost because maybe they feel saying that these people they don't begin this kind of sensitization first. For teach the average Sierra Leonean say when you become an amputee or you become a disabled, you know mean say you don't deserve respect or you're not getting job now as a society was supposed to take them away from that kind of corner there. For come them, bring them into mainstream where we know say you can be an amputee and be a doctor, you can be an amputee and be a lawyer, you can be an amputee and be a president instead of that. So explain that for us more.
The truth of the matter is this verification where they say the amputee they're not dirty, this is not from the government approved NACSA. When a government selected the directors them, now then they directly under the government of Sierra Leone, this NACSA. Regina Safa, when the director, now then send, make them go do verification for the amputee. So there was this money we come off from World Bank, where I also forget for Telona. This verification where then go do, unfortunately, the amputees them, where they go verify for, then tell the amputees then say, then get money where they go give amputees every month. This was last year, 2020. April time we had this conversation with Regina Safa. But then say they want to go do their own verification, then get some emergency cash where they go give. So now the government officials, NACSA staff, and then go do that discrimination. It's not even just average Sierra Leoneans anymore. People that you're thinking that for making them get that kind of job there. It was even bad that when they go even do some distribution, they do some light distribution offline, but they go give to people that were not to amputees. Then possibly we make like say in a person with disability. Then go take the rest of them or the person for pay the NACSA for that distribution where they go make. So as always, many years ago, $3 million had been given for the war survivors. Then go put amputees away, not from the war, but from accident, and go put like people, disabilities them. Now then go share the money with. So NACSA has always not done right by the amputees. They have done wrong. I remember some years back that in 2019, I went on SLBC and they invite the director, and he did not know I was coming from Melqosh. So they asked her, also what, I mean, this is the 20th year of January 6, 1999. What's your take? What of your organizations, because you are meant to be responsible or be taking care of it? Oh, we are helping, talk. So whatever, they ask a question, he couldn't answer, and then I came in, and then I tell them what they don't want to do. They don't do. And then after the program, the man say, "Oh, you for don't kind of we meeting, you know me for just got exposed, if I don't call me now we office all these years." And I say, I don't they can Salone. I don't need for come down the office. Every year I come, I go, I've stopped going to AYV, SLBC because I think I'm wasting myself, my voice on the Sierra Leoneans in Sierra Leone, from the president's candle to the average Sierra Leonean. So I stopped doing that and just focus on my assignment. We're doing this, perchance we have a Sierra Leonean who may have a contact with human rights, come on board. Who may have somebody who can come and fight for these people internationally, come on board. Who can help, who can think, okay, I can partner with you, come on board. That's why we're doing this on this International Day of the the International Day for Persons with Disabilities. But going to Sierra Leone and speaking, I'm done doing that, because Sierra Leoneans, we look down on war survivors and we know their plight. And we get Boko people that we get money in our tongue, we can help them people here. But then see them and turn their eye, they don't want to see their eyesores. So, you know, so that's how the Sierra Leone, and it does not start only from it starts from the top, coming all the way down. I mentioned, say, Madabio anywhere. They were not patrons, I take that word back. Fatima hosted, she was an MC, a mistress of ceremony, MC me events. She knows 100% what the war survivors are going through. The War Amputee Association went to her office as the mother of the nation, and she never opened her doors to them. They've made several attempts. The War Amputees went to the vice president. He gave them urgence and said he was going to come back to them. He never did. So it's not like lack of trying. For every government, the amputees don't go to them, and they have closed their doors and not helped it. Meanwhile, where President Bio come, he talks, say, one of the agendas the way again for help people with disabilities was very high on his agenda, equal to the free education. President Madabio know the day we go AYV, we go make an announcement for the very first time, say, want to do free education. I was the first guest before they invite him, and I came back to talk about the 332 Pikinewa mentions in 2017, October, where we can do the program. We come all about AYV follow we city by city as we were doing our distribution, the education and paying school fees. So they recorded it and they invited us on their breakfast show. I was interviewed there. President Bio knew I came up with, I had been doing this free education. You want to now come and do free education? Invite people who have been doing it and work with the war amputees. I don't need to come and work for you. I will come and volunteer my time to make it easy, give you the database that Ministry of Social Welfare not get for the amputees nationwide. They don't know how many amputees are alive. They don't have a census for them. They don't have even a database for their children. Even Children's Affairs not get the database. The previous director of Children's Affairs tell me, say, this work where you do money not there. If you go into early child marriage, this, that, nothing, not so that they God call me. This work here, so even if there are few people there, we will do it. So it's been one government after the other government not helping these people. I even had a meeting with First Lady Madam Sia Kouma, and I met with her in 2016 talking. So not only Fatima, not they blame Fatima, and they blame even because if you say you're mother of the nation, you get for big cumbra for make you able to feed, pull your breast for breastfeed. All man where they under your husband and whatever. In your little way they do, because most of these first ladies, they come, I'm not giving them much, whatever, but they come and say, oh, we're going to do help the vulnerable. If you know you can't do it, don't come and talk about what you cannot do, you know. And so, you know, unfortunately, we live in a place now where only time you will see them go can give small teams or maybe people them with disabilities. Now when election one come, but the amputees don't wise up now, because you know their vote is going to count no matter how little they are. Their votes also matter, and they don't tire from it, and they can't lie to them. We'll come and help you. We were hoping this particular government will make the difference, because it was on their agenda. If they come into power, they will help the people with disabilities. Even the Disability Commission, where we get our Sierra Leone, they discriminate against the war amputees there. It is that bad within from the little nucleus of all these governmental societies and non-governmental societies. International bodies don't want to work with amputees. It's a lot of work, especially for making them, because they're not in one place, then they're all over the country. So if you want to do mission for them, Pastor Fino talk about where we do with medical mission this year. We had to go everywhere, even for make you invite them for where you do your medical mission. You therefore hire boss them, for go pick them, for bring them, or you pay for the med and come there, you get an envelope for transport for go, because Alexa, you bring millions of medicine come. The people are not get money for go get them free medicine. It's that bad. So I was talking about the free. So of course we don't talk about free medical. I don't think I need to go much into that, because Pastor Fino don't talk about what he is facing. That lumbar problem they will be get. We get a chiropractor and we come and do spinal adjustment param, but he needs a lot of work, because apart from the amputation, they actually beat him now in back. So all his years he's had to suffer. And the other hand would not see, not only was one hand amputated, the other hand then tried to amputate him, but it not totally sever. So he's got two or three fingers working like he used for making right. This man is a highly educated man, but has never been able to work in Sierra Leone for many, many years, because they say in an amputee, you know. So we're talking about the area where is say of course, the free education. Now, some picking them don't get them, but not all. So at least I go say they don't try small bit. If anything, out of all these intentional improvise, so they wouldn't say the ones for do that the free education and I seem from come in. Then talk about agree that the Minister of Trade and Industry should assist the amputees with the formation of cooperatives at district level, so that the effective utilization of district contractors will be assured. Even the area of Ministry of Agriculture, I understand, say, Minister of Agriculture don't try for help some area there like Napuja amputees them for make them go give them maybe seed for farm. You know, I believe for be fair. Who side then do? Who side they not do? Let we talk him. And they talk again, but the diamond, how much diamond that we don't get in this country here, so we don't come. Why we not all take a percentage of that, as the TRC say, for make we provide a war survivors fund, where Melqosh not going to get for the go try for raise funds. We are doing what the government of Sierra Leone is not doing, and shame on the government of Sierra Leone. I repeat myself, shame on them. They don't fail with people there. What thing they do? They left me home, they left me families several times in the year. For can't do money where governments they get. Government gets money for people with disabilities. The Ministry of Social Welfare they receive. Even right out of even the minister, all the ministers, I don't try for go. The only person I don't see is related, David Senge. And because he not don't give we audience, we don't try many times, he's not giving us. The current minister where the Bendu, where the Minister Bendu, Minister of Social Welfare. I believe she's still there. We went when the January 6th came, we say for the 20th anniversary, I went to her 3 years ago and talk about, say, the amputees, we did a program. I invite them, I invite the president. Nobody turn up. The only person we attend, we come from central government was the mayor of Freetown. Now, Ingo Fonodo war survivors and stand with them and talk and give them a little bit of hope. and encouragement. Apart from that, we not get to know nothing happening for these war amputees, war wounded, war sexual abuse. We come with thousands of dollars of medicines. Apart from last year where we get a problem because in the EU, because of England are they, we get majority of medicine there. The suppliers are not being able to get the medicines because of Brexit and all the problem that we England only get with the EU. And most of the medicine can come from Switzerland and all that countries and then package them and we're able to buy them. So we had to now buy from America. And when I know America on a medicine and the arm and leg, we spend so much money. And normally where they come with 50 different types of medicines. But Sofino just talk about antibiotics only. But the truth of the matter is, maybe you go see the video and you'll see the different types of medicines. We get war rape victims that we still they excrete infectious fluids from their genitals, because after where they don't rape them, some of the amputees war rebel and take rod and shove them on the inside of the woman, then they perforate their womb, and some of them don't get this infection for many years left untreated. So we give them cocktails of medicines, strong antibacterial pessaries, vaginal pessaries they use inside. They also have the ointment and also have the oral tablets and then they use as well. We get amputees the way they suffer. Majority of them get hypertension and ulcer because poverty, they make them belly. Most of them get ulcer because one time then they eat for the hypertension. We treat the one that we get diabetes. We get the one that we get so many different kind of ailments. We don't lose so many of them. Every year I come Salone, even if I come 2-3 times a year, every time I come, they meet some of the amputees that don't die. And over the 13 years, they don't become like me own families. So that's why I am very, not only committed, I am protective of them. And it's not only protected, I also want us to see what we can do. So this is an invitation to every Sierra Leonean. You don't have to be rich. I'm not rich, but do what I can. Do what you can, you left the rest to God. If we Sierra Leonean, in America, we have close to 1 million people in America. We are Sierra Leoneans. More than 1 million. In the DMV, I go to America several times where our charities registered as 501c3 in America. If everybody even give $5, we're able to do something. If people can just come together. And we know in America, you people give than England, So we're asking people in Sierra Leone and let us be part of this movement to make a change for the world.
What we could do, Pastor Faith, I think we could need for, say, repetition and not the best way to forget things, because we quick for forget. So now we can watch the show right now, you go after 2-3 days or 1 month, you don't forget. So, but what we could do, maybe every 6 months or 3 months, and I will come back, we still continue. Because sometimes if another hits with conscience, we will do something. Again, I will just take what you don't say. I will ask most of the people in the US, because we know, say, plenty of hospitals and nursing homes them or small food work in the medical field, able to contact people and for talks, say, listen, we get amputees them. Now we try for tell them a story. Plenty of organizations are ready for help. In fact, they use them as for help with their tax system. They're able to donate some of them medications there. And we know plenty of the medication that the student can destroy them. So, but just find the right channel, meet the right person for talk to. Most of the hospitals then get places away for somebody for talk to. We get good channel and say they keep helping the hospital beds them when they change them, till the facility they keep donate them. So I believe make we just make as an option, as a duty as Sierra Leoneans and say, we're not even just America, but if you're inside Europe, Asia and stuff like that, you get a good rapport with your job. You can able to make them know say we get a dear humanitarian crisis now we country we're in. So that things I will take for granted now we will do a whole lot on that side. So again, we know only for come back and put pressure on the government, because the other problem some people in the face and keep getting here, but for shipping and Sierra Leone way the government or the help with some of them shipping cost them there as well. Because I know some people don't tell me, okay, I don't get a bid them, it's an right now what I kill and charge me some kind of charge, so I left them there vexed and walk away. So we could just talk to the government, this is how we take the politics out of them. Now we look at the humanitarian side of this. Say, if somebody in the IDK can donate, when I give them the support to their needs, so I'm going to clear them, tell them what's a key, and that's to go towards the country. Because at the end of the day, as we all say, now the country is responsible for them people and for those surrendered today. And the country is supposed to take care of them. This is the duty of Sierra Leone and every Sierra Leonean for let we make sure so we help them people here. Means they talk so I mean they free some by them. Somebody who have the same yard with now a double amputee. He left the yard and go somewhere and go cut into one. So means they talk so I was just lucky for them at the right place at the right time. It can happen to anybody. Not to say people are something different and do no. Plenty of people have been just at the wrong place at the wrong time. This happened to them. It can happen to a brother or sister. Me, I talk to me, small sister. He better kill them. So I know what it means for Lois Donor and talk for them people who are for war victims. One way or the other, if you're not affected directly, affect somebody way close to you directly. So let me join and see how we will able to help. Let me advocate for them. We get plenty opportunity then while also we do. Plenty opportunity. All we need for them, let me just take that one step. Advocate. If not by jokes, just talk about a job. You must get somebody who will feel sorry and say, okay, you know what, I'll show you the way. I'll show you who you need to talk to. Plenty of the items are not wasting it to put them away. But if we're able to come together and see how we can help them out, because all until they talk, so the reality now is the government not going to do nothing. Salone government, all the time they know you know where election they come, where they need your vote. After that vote don't come, you know worth nothing. So that's that will be fair. As much as with the TI, with that money the way it comes, they're not going to tell them money to go what to do because they not see the amputee as a full human being in society. This is the selfishness of we the Africans, where we look beyond brother and sister them and see them like half of a human being. So now we get forgetting that dignity. They're not going to be giving us that dignity anymore. And I'm going to bless you for the kind of work where you do all the time, pay you transport to go and I go spend time with the people that come back, advocate. Not only God go pay you. And for love, it gets more like a society heart. You have to fight. Because then people are not going to go. This is what I will tell you, say, I go Salone, not to what I go work on an amputee camp. You see, so for let you get somebody who say, I will take this as a duty. I ask people and do allow we come in and support. If not every small thing that we get, that bugger money where if you say now, minor thing, it do a whole lot for them. Yeah. And as we say right now, if me to the cry right now, most of all overseas, what they go to store, we see the price in our store. So now we just imagine waiting to happen for somebody in an amputee and then picking them back home. So do you na beg with the beg? Do you na beg with the beg on behalf of the brother and sister them? Where them this not most of them not get nothing for not to the fault of their own. Then do everything them for do. Then still end up on the unfortunate side. So do you would ask people them because this is the most of the time when I do show at this time of the day, where I say I will take out of my own time and come all of it because I reach the audience, the people in a different country, where then go the up, so then we watch the show after during the show or after the show, so that we go able to see how much we go able to help. Because at the end of the day, we can talk and come. Salone government are the last option. Yeah. But then not going to do much at all. So over to you, Antiface, your last word for family, and we will continue to do this. We will continue.
Thank you. Amen. I don't know if it's possible for make we able for show because seeing is believing. If we get some of the pictures and video them for make people and make them we just see some of the work where we do. Is it possible?
Yeah, sure. In fact, let me show somebody what the show they go on. Let me show somebody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
Show. We get a video, 4-minute video. Can that be shown?
Yeah, okay, yeah. I think I think I forget I will send out to the team while you type to do your closing, so we'll play them at the end of the show.
Okay, that would be good. So, it's I feel so overwhelmed when I can think about what could have been their lives if only we were Sierra Leoneans that were very conscientious. That's the question I always say. What if we truly had been our brother's keeper, the life where the war victim that we'd always so many years. Let us make haste to right the wrongs that we have done. I know they left her now in the hands of the government. They left her now to every Sierra Leonean that is listening or will come and listen to this at some point. Or, you dey free tongue, do you little. I mean, even abroad, if you get crutches, some of the work where we don't do, some people, they go get crutches, they go say, oh, we want to make a donation to UNA, You know, we want to make a donation to her in terms of crutches. So it's not only just financial giving. We also want to make people give in gift in kind, wheelchairs, crutches them, use clothing. Don't only just give, ship them, help pay the cost and bring them to Sierra Leone. We get a situation where we bring a whole container to Sierra Leone and we paid so much demurrage because the ministers were waiting for signing the papers, they were not available. And this is not during, this was in 2013, 8 years ago. We had, we might as well be for don't do, and this was being as a charity. So it's so people want to do good, but just there's so many challenges then for people to make you process the things then we they ship all the time to Sierra Leone. So 3/4, I think this year we don't ship. This is our 4th one, I believe. Third or 4th one where they come. No, actually the 4th one from the UK, 3 from the US, and we spend so much money. We really and truly charities for able to forget free shipment forget waivers on shipment because we're coming to do charitable activities. Yes. The provisions in Sierra Leone we go cable make we work easy, but I can think say where we can they don't go slap we with millions. They don't know say not just average Sierra Leoneans or friends of Sierra Leone, when they come together, we put our money together, we come do our projects then. But I want to say thank you to our viewers then. We don't spend this time for making a year. The little way I get for say, do you want to go lead on appeal, talk with God and make a pledge before the ending of 2021. Think of what you will do. But please God for make we help the amputees. And I want to tell Med, thank you very much for having us on a platform. VOS has always opened their doors, so we thank you to the producer behind the scene. Thank you to all the directors of VOS. I want to tell you all thank you. Maybe we will do another follow-up towards the 20th anniversary of J6, January 18 of the actual the 20th anniversary. Let us see, hopefully maybe the government of Sierra Leone will watch this and rise up to the challenge, say, make we do something, make we come out with shame for this January 20, because if January 20 come, I will be asking a lot of 2022 come. And the 20th anniversary come and go ask if I go want to see what the government of Sierra Leone has up their sleeves to help the war victims. So if you are watching, and I know many of you watch VOS, take it back to your president. I'm not even talking about Fatima because Fatima not to the president, her hands are tied. I'm talking about the one where they pull the strings. That money when I don't use spend all over the country, they fly. When I use up for the amputee, then take care of them, it will make such a big difference. That's the last word I have for that. Say, if we truly use up and clean, we back guarded. If we know one, they say we want for make we win people in Canada country, but they come and they see the poverty and how we treat our people. They know what they talk behind them. They go can smile with man and sabi do be hypocritical. Nobody not get to take care of Sierra Leone and reach with Sierra Leoneans. That's the fact. Let us stop looking outside for make international aid. We can be the aid we they look for. How about that? That's a challenge for everyone. If I can do it, others can do it. Matilda, who called in, can do it. You know how much this is, and I'm calling her out because just this week on Giving Tuesday, she donated $250 Canadian dollars to remission. Not so for say the girl gets beaucoup money, but because he know waiting at it. They don't talk to the war amputees. They don't read their stories. She knows, she carries. And we have other good meaning Sierra Leoneans like that. I know they say I could have matched it, but even if not £10, $20, $50 you get, every little helps. God bless you now. Thank you very much for having me on the show, and thank you very much for listening. God bless you now.
Thank you very much. Anytime when already, let me know, we will work on that. Anything we need to do for well and our sister them back home on the side now, we need for spread the word, and also that's all Sierra Leone around the world. Like we Pastor Faith say, make we not sit and wait for white man for come save. We don't know wait for God for come out. God already give you the talent. It don't give most of it the main thing that we just put into the right place. Most of it they give donation and other organizations and other countries. Then always start. There's a charity begins at home. Always say take care of brother and sister because they're in their need. And again, this now we they plant seed for next war for the war after. We they plant seed for your picking them when they come. This now generations and what you do for other person where they help in need. And that same thing will follow your picking them where you know they are around for help them out. We go begin in country we begin to travel so many countries here. We know what's in the story can bring back, say how people will help when on one side now what you do. So deal with the big family, them people that need help. And most of them people are the dignity and respect lies on we all help them out. So deal with the big family, again I tell you, thank you, Pastor Faith, because for let you do what you do, so not only a special set of people that go do the here. For take people that we don't want this to take their own problem as your problem. They fly overseas, go Salone with your money and continue for advocate for them. Not only God bless. And we don't say, let's say they get the same kind. They're not then just, so people don't lost faith in some organizations then. So we ask now, take a look at the organization and see, mingle with the people and see if you feel say them trustworthy, come in and lend you iron because they need help. Plenty of people can get talent, not to just the financial help. But some people then get means for get internationalized, they then go make the country push some laws and the country make them get some help what they need. And that one they go even go farther and some of them don't share what they get. So if you're not a pro bono lawyer, if you're not a doctor, if you're not a nurse, like when they say, so I remember the last time another organization that they come together, they go Salone and go teach people when I can do the same thing. White man don't come on and white country go do one for family. I believe say we the nurses and doctors themselves come on Salone we go do. So again, I tell family thank you. Yeah, you know, can connect, when I can contact them to them page, and get so many pages them when I go contact them and go reach you now. Often I reach Matilda, like reach them, often I will reach them, but like send a message to we go send them to them directly and then just give you detail. We will link on as well. We tell on all thank you on take on our time out of this busy schedule for watch the show and listen to it around the world and do anything for watch after share. Again, the page and they up right now. This is at the end of year. Fundraising they do right now for raise money for the people here because they only hope we then get for make sure so they get that dignity and respect to them deserve. I tell now all thank you. We tell now all thank you on our spare on our time. That's supposed to be another show tonight, but I will send a notice if we come. Again, I tell now all thank you. God bless you now all and stay tight. And we pray that this corona way they can make no touch on for family and make go stay blessed and let God make the help what they try to forget for the problem and then we get up. Thank you all and God bless you all and good night everybody.
Thank you.
What does Leonardo DiCaprio, Nicolas Cage, Kanye West, and hundreds of thousands of amputees in Sierra Leone have in common? The blood diamonds. The year is 1999, and the devastating Sierra Leonean civil war is at its raging peak. The RUF rebels enter the capital city of Freetown and indiscriminately rape, maim, murder women, children, and men of all tribes. 20 years on from January 1999, Melqosh Mission is returning to Freetown in search of the blood diamond victims. Where are they now?
We are at the Melqosh amputee camp where we are sponsoring the children of war victims, the war wounded, and the war amputees with their school supplies and clothing fees for the year. These are the war victims at the camp, and we are here to support them and their children so that they can have a better future, and is so incredibly important to bring awareness to a group of people who have been neglected and forgotten and have suffered needlessly over the years. And we are very excited to be able to be here with them today to support them and to support their families.
God make them succeed. God give them good way. Now I didn't masaka, but we go now to go big. we can pay my school fees on picking them. But now, what they help now, small, take what tangy. They are about one they help me, take what tangy, they pray for them, they're going to get a long life and body, they help more and more for picking and school fees.
I had wanted to come to Sierra Leone from the time that I was in graduate school. I did a tour through different Holocaust sites in Europe in graduate school. I also went to Cambodia and did an independent research study on the genocide there. And something just struck me about what happened here in Sierra Leone and the brutality of all of it. And since then, I wanted to come to this country. I wanted to see the people and I wanted to work and give back. I just didn't know what that would look like. I didn't know who I would come with or what I would do or how I would get here. But here we are today, now more than 10 years later.
Thank you for having me here today, and very excited to be able to give you some help for this school year. And these bags came 5,000 miles, and when I look at all of you, it was worth bringing them across the ocean to be able to help. And thank you. Thank you for having me.
I think that if you are a human and you have a heart, that what these people have experienced is there's nothing worse. There's just nothing worse than what many of these people have experienced. And wherever you are, living in the Western world or a first world country, no matter what your situation is, you can still afford to give. I think part of it is shifting the mindset, not only from thinking, oh, I have to give a lot to have any impact, but also that you don't have enough yourself. Because I promise, if you can afford to live in a first world country, you can afford to give in a way that is maybe seemingly small, but extremely impactful. I'm the kind of person who I love to give to those who are suffering. So my initial inclination was to give more to the amputees and to the wounded and rape victims. But now I have a better understanding of why we are so focused on education, because of how that investment impacts the entire family and the entire community for many years to come. This is a population of people that the majority of the world doesn't know exists. I would argue that many Americans, Westerners in general, don't know that Sierra Leone is a country in West Africa. And so there's a lot of work to be done. There's a lot of education to be done. But these people matter. They feel and think just like the rest of you and I. They feel pain, they feel joy, they feel love. And anyone who has a heart for humanity should definitely consider being involved in what we are doing here in this country. And I can vouch with 100% certainty that all of the money that is donated to Melqosh Mission International goes directly to the people. I'm watching it happen in real time. We're exchanging dollars and donations for Leone's, and we are handing out every last one of them and putting those to good use. So 100%. And I don't know that I've ever heard of another organization that does that.
That